Lost 45 by 10cc. Art for Art's Sake. On Billboard's Top 100, December 6, 1975. Let's bring it up right now. My goodness. It is at 94. It debuted at number 97 the previous week. Art for Art's Sake. It's not really a hit sounding record. It's an eclectic sounding record in a sense that it doesn't really. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like. It's not like Ballroom Blitz, for example, or Hard Day's Night. It doesn't have that definable hook that stands right out at you. But it's one of these eclectic sounding records in the sense that when you get tired of listening to all these hit records, when you get tired of all these top 40 hits, you need to take a break from it. You get into a song like this. It's late Saturday night. You just got through doing some partying and you put your headphones on, you hook your headphones up into your radio or record player back in 1975, and you just trip out over this record, Art for Art's Sake by 10cc, get into something different. Although this song was a hit in England. It went to number 5 in England. It's from the album called How Dare You, 10cc. This song was a follow-up to their massive American hit, their first American hit, I'm Not in Love. That was in the summer of 75. And the previous summer before that, they had a song out called Wall Street Shuffle in 1974, which was a fabulous record by 10cc. This album was the last album that featured the original lineup of 10cc, which was Eric Stewart, Graham Goldman, got to talk about Graham Goldman in a minute, Kevin Godley and Low Cream, who had some hit records of their own and made some fabulous videos back in the 80s after they split away from 10cc. How Dare You featured, oh God. If you haven't heard this song, you got to listen to it. This was not a big hit here in the States, but it went to number 5, number 4, no, it went to number 6 in England. I'm Mandy, Fly Me. God, you gotta listen to that record. It was actually based on a poster from National Airlines that Eric Stewart saw. It had a beautiful stewardess on there, and there was a tramp underneath looking longingly at the stewardess at the airplane, knowing that he's not gonna get on that airplane. And it's one of the most wistful records you'll ever hear. It's just. Well, I can't think of the word right now, but it's something else. I'm Mandy, Fly Me. High recommendation for that record from Mr. DJ. But let's get to this record, Art for Art's Sake. This was based on a wry comment by Graham Goldman's dad. His dad said something like, "Art for arts, boys, art for art's sake." It was art for art's sake. And money for God's sake. That's what he said. And they built that song around that phrase, Art for Art's Sake. And this album, How Dare You, it yielded 2 British hits. I already mentioned it. But Art for Art's Sake did not do well here in America. Like I said, it just was not commercial enough to be a big hit over here in the States. But it was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 6 weeks. Peaked at number 83. And gotta mention Graham Goldman, one of the group members of 10cc. Oh God, Graham Goldman. He wrote some brilliant songs back in the 60s. He wrote For Your Love. He wrote that for his band The Mockingbirds. But the record company passed on it and went to the Yardbirds. They had a hit with it. He wrote another hit by the Yardbirds, Heart Full of Soul, and he co-wrote the song The Scintillating, the 12-string guitar intro. Well, he didn't write that, but it had that 12-string guitar intro. Look through any window, yeah, what do you see by the Hollies? This was late 65, early 66 here in the States. He wrote Bus Stop. Graham Goldman wrote Bus Stop. 2 hit records. He wrote 2 or 3 hit records by Herman's Hermits, including No Milk Today. Remember No Milk Today from 1967? And Listen People from early 1966? These guys had a past. And some of these guys, I believe, as Eric Stewart and Godley and Cream, they were in this. Well, I guess you could call it band. They were in Hot Legs, who had that hit Neanderthal Man in 1970. Well, I guess that's all I got to say about this record. Well, here it is, Art for Art's Sake. and Money for God's Sake, as Graham Goldman's dad used to say, and they converted that phrase into a British hit. 10cc at number 94 on Billboard's Hot 100, December 6, 1975, with Art for Art's Sake.